Cheryl, how are you? Give a few minutes to get this out so everybody can come on in. Let me see how we're doing here. Hope everyone's had a good weekend, or week rather. Headed for the weekend now. Let me get that. So we'll be doing some. We'll be talking about some spooky events, kind of things we've been talking about the past couple of weeks or so, and we'll get involved with that tonight. There we go. Hello. All right. Um, just comment. Let me know you're in here. And we'll get started here in just a few minutes. So I'm liking these things. I don't want to keep them year round. Just let them continue to sit there like that. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. So we are right at the cusp of getting 1,500 subscribers. We're almost there, and man, I can't believe that many subscribers. That's really cool. Um, all right. So, excuse me. So what we're going to talk about is why I don't do scary videos and some kind of creepy stuff. Creepy. I mean, we're headed to Halloween now. We're on the verge of getting there, and so I'll be putting up some videos of the haunted dolls and stuff soon too. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. I'm not seeing all of the notifications go out yet. At least not on my other channel. Hey, mom. Let's see. All right. There we go. All right, so I sent some more notifications out. Hopefully that'll help. I didn't see the ones from YouTube go out. Should have already went out though, but whatever. Let's see. Let me send one more notification out real quick, in one more spot. Hey Amber, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I was helping resend some notifications out. Oh, it is sending out now. Good, 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 good. It's for some reason. I think because I put this up early in the week, and I guess that's why it's doing that. Let me send one more place out. So doing good, doing good. There. Yeah. All right. So, Hopefully that'll help with the notifications and the camera. There we go. It can get blurry. Oh, I meant to turn that light on that thing too. There we go. That's a little better. That may keep it from getting too blurry. All right. So we have some interesting things to talk about here. And we're going to get started with these strange events. And I don't know if you ever heard of Elmer McCurdy, but let me get that chat up to where I can see the chat. But he was well known for, there we go. He was well known for being very strange while he lived and then even stranger after he died. And it says Elmer McCurdy was not the type of man one would expect to remain infamous over 100 years after his death. He was born in 1880. Even his arrival in the world was a bit strange. His mother, Sadie McCurdy, was only 17 years old at the time of his birth. She was unmarried, and Elmer was adopted by Sadie's brother, who and his wife, who raised him. Not long after Elmer's father, who was his actual uncle, died, Sadie admitted that she was Elmer's mother. Shocked and traumatized by this revelation, Elmer went from a normal child to a teen alcoholic prone to acting out. And it gets better. So Elmer then moved in with his grandmother and found work as an apprentice plumber, a job at which he excelled, making comfortable living and for quite some time. But in 1898, the economic downturn that had begun in 1893 had made its way to the McCurdy house. Elmer lost his job, and within 3 years, Elmer's mother, grandfather had died. Grandmother and grandfather had died, and Elmer no longer was able to hold a job. He began drifting around the Northeast, offering his services as a miner and a plumber wherever possible. Eventually, Elmer ended up in Missouri, where he joined the Army. There, he was trained in using bombs, explosives, and things like that. After an honorable discharge, Elmer began to use his skills in understanding how to make bombs to burglarize people's homes and trains. Elmer and a friend were even arrested and sent to trial for possessing tools used in the burglary. All the bomb making stuff, all that stuff was there. They were able to convince the judge that the tools were not for a machine gun. They were inventing. So they've kind of hoodooed the judge here and believing that what they were using all that stuff for was not for robbing. After leaving the trail, Elmer began his stint as a train robber and a bank robber. In earnest, although the limited training he had received in making these nitroglycerins often meant that his robbery attempts were less than professional. One attempt to blast a safe door off, Elmer used far too much nitroglycerin, causing most of the money and goods in the safe to be destroyed. And in another attempt, Elmer's charge failed to ignite, leaving the would-be robbers to scrounge for whatever cash was not locked up. And it says Harley stuff of Jesse James. That is for sure. Elmer's next attempt took place in October 1911. He and two friends heard that the train was coming, Would be carrying about 400,000 in cash. The men stopped the train, but quickly discovered that it was only a passenger train. They managed to eke out about $46, which that's not a lot at all, and some whiskey. So they didn't get much out of that. Elmer was holed up in a barn with whiskey and was ill and drunk when police showed up to make good on a $2,000 reward on his head. On October 7th, he was shot and killed. Now, this is where the story gets weird. If it ain't already weird enough. Um, yeah, wow. Um, Elmer's body was taken to a funeral home and left unclaimed. It's going to get strange. Joseph Johnson, the owner of the home that embalmed the body, uh, I can't do this without laughing too because it is kind of funny. He preserved the body, kept all of its features, body intact, everything. Right. When months stretched without an owner receiving payment or him getting repayment or anybody coming around to claim the body of the the body of the bandit wouldn't give up. Okay, so he's going to do something here to make money back, right? So he embalmed this body. Nobody's ever claimed it. Nobody's ever made a payment for it. So he became a far more popular attraction than Johnson could have dreamed. So what he does is he takes them around to carnivals and these uh, kind of oddity tents and stuff and shows them off and makes money off this dead body. Um, and I don't know how he preserved it well enough not to stink. Hey bud, how are you? So he's preserved this body, but then 5 years later, um, two men. Now here's the thing. What happened was there were some carnival owners, circus people wanted to take the body from him and offer to put him in their circus. He said no, absolutely not. So, but then 5 years later, two men claiming to be McGurdy's brothers show up. Unable to refuse them, Johnson handed the body over. Oh, God. The men were actually James and Charles Patterson, owners of a carnival. So there you go. That's how they got him. They featured they featured McCurdy's body for 7 more years. At which point the carnival was sold wholesale and to Louis Sawney. When Louis Sawney died, the body was placed in storage. God. It made appearances in movies in 1967 called She Freak. With his son's permission, it was sold it was in a movie too. It was sold to a few other oddity displayers through the 1960s and 70s. We're still going here. At some point, it was left hanging inside a museum or amusement park funhouse. Could you imagine that being in a funhouse? This dead body has been gone. The sucker's been dead like 70 years. McCurdy's body was rediscovered by a television crew in 1967. After a long examination, it was re identified as McCurdy after 75 years of odd expedition or I can't even talk, of all these carnivals and all these displays and stuff. McCurdy's body was finally laid to rest and covered in 2 feet of concrete to keep anyone from being a grave robber. So, wow. Amber, I don't know. I don't know how they kept that body from stinking. I don't know exactly how they did it, but there is. Let me see. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can. There's a picture of it. Let me see a share screen and I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know if I can make it bigger or not, but no, but let me see if I can do a share screen and do this real quick. Um, let's see. I think this is how you do it. I sometimes forget. Um, well, I think I did it wrong. Hang on just a second. Let me try that again. I'm still getting used to these things. There's like 3 different ways to do a share screen on here. See if that works. Um, there you go. Now I see it on here too. So there you go. That's his body. Now I don't know what year, but that's his body right there. Um, again, like I said, I don't know what year this was, but that's just creepy enough. And then you just take it and go all over the place with it, and that's pretty wild. So let me copy the link to this and put it in the chat. And you guys can go. Yeah, that screen share is still new to me. I don't do it quite near enough to. I have heard stuff like that, Amber, where they've had like real people in these carnivals. But this guy here, he was the trailblazer for that. I don't know. That's you know again, let's say that body right here is 1975 or whatever. That's pretty damn good. I mean, he's well preserved for over 70 years of death. I mean, so I'm just saying if that right there is 70 years later, holy mackerel! Let me blow it up a little bit bigger on the screen. Yeah, the bandit that wouldn't give up. he gave up. I mean, he got shot and killed, but his body didn't give up. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what year this was. I wish I knew when the picture was. You know, if I knew that, then like if that was like maybe the first few years, that might be different. But if that's like 70 years later, he looks better than King Tut. At this point. And there is stories on these. I mean, I won't cover them tonight, but there is stories of. How did I do that? Oh, there we go. There are like you can go into this website and you can like click on his name there, and I guess it will give you another site somewhere else. Maybe I didn't click that, but I also found 10 famous dead bodies you can actually visit, and it gets creepy here too. Vladimir Lenin. So like this one says the leader of the Russian Revolution and founder of the first communist state. The Soviets were too proud of Lenin to put him in the ground. When he died in 1924, his body lies in the grass. Why would you not put him in the ground? In a museum on the Red Square. The Russians are secretive about how to exactly, or how they, I guess, where it's at exactly. But I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. So you can click onto that link there, and it'll take you to King Tut and all these other places. No, no, it didn't. I'm glad you asked that though. Hang on a second. No, now we could click this and see what happens though. Oh God. Okay, now we got a better picture of him. There we go. There is his mummified state. right there. That would be it. Now this, let's see. I don't know. It says photograph, but by W.J. Book, but I don't know. I don't think anybody ever got arrested. I think because it was legally, well, kind of legally purchased, or not purchased, but taken because it said, that was a brother, even though they lied about that. Said it made a pretty penny, the funeral home did, on the attraction. Then in 1960, the visitor appeared claiming, yeah, that's where it talks about the people coming to get his body. That's um, let's see. Secret was finally revealed. A production crew set up inside a funhouse to shoot scenes for the $6 million Man. So is that show? Well, here you go. That's the show that found him, or the people, the producers, or whatever that did the $6 million Man. They're the one that found the body. Someone had reached out to move a dummy hanging by a noose, and then snapped off in his hand. Oh God! Exactly what part of McCurdy's body tore away was unclear. I mean, could you imagine just leaving this hanging up? I think that's all. Um, yeah, that's all. That's all of the story right there. But it was founded by the $6 Million Man crew. Yeah, yeah. So let me go back up to doo-doo-doo-doo, back up here. So his death picture is this one. That would be from that picture there. Then that's what he looked like after so many years. Again, I don't know. Uh, I guess that'd be in the 70s, maybe there. Um, returned to Guthrie, Oklahoma from Los Angeles County, California for burial April 22nd, 1977. So he got shot in 1911. He died in 1911. 77 is when they buried him with 2 feet of concrete, so nobody would dig him out. That's sick. You know, that's pretty wild. Uh, like my camera went out. Hang on a second. Let me work on my camera real quick. For some reason it said it went out. I don't know why, but oh, there it goes. Um, yeah, that is a wild story. And I want to do some of these throughout the next several weeks for our live streams and stuff. Let's get that picture off. That looks weird. Let's stop screen share. There we go. Oof. That's hideous. That's for sure. Um, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm finding these stories, and I'm always trying to share the links. So if you go back to like the live streams I've done the past couple of weeks, um, I got links in the chat. You can go to these places. One of them's like, well, here, let me just do this again so everybody can get them again. Let me just put these links in here to some of the stories I've read the past couple of weeks. That is, yep. And there's that one, and also this one. Um, you all can just click those and read them. There's a lot of stuff in those. It's a real interesting stuff. Like last week, we talked about spooky things and about Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd Lincoln and all that. And there we go. There's all the links. Okay. But yeah, you can just click on those and check those out. But I'll be reading from these over the next several, all the way through Halloween. We're going to have a story each week. I thought that'd be kind of cool to do. But that right there, when I came across that one earlier in the week, I thought, "Whoo, let's share that. That's going to be fun." That's just weird. Um, I had never turned my lava lamp on. I had these things on every week, but I forgot about the lava lamp. I was looking at it, I was like, "Oh, it's not on." Um, let's see. So, anybody got any questions about those stories or anything? They are wild. They are wild for sure. Excuse me. Okay, so if you have anything, just comment. Let me know. And I want to talk a little bit about this week's investigation. I've done five five investigations this week. Most I've done in a week in a while. Usually I do one or two. But I didn't do anything in the shed this week. But I will hopefully do that next week. But I went to some cemeteries, did some investigations, got some really cool, interesting things that's come through. Um, one of which was I was in a part of a cemetery and there was like several headstones, but I could sense spirits there. There was like at least five that I could sense were there. I couldn't see them, but I could feel it. I know that they were there. There was at least that many. And I got the word sit, and I was like, I don't think I can sit anywhere. There's nothing but grass, and I found a bench like maybe 4 feet ahead of me. So I walk up there and I sit down. I said, "Well, I'll sit here." My next word is party. So I'm thinking these people must be having a party or something because I could sense all these spirits around this one area. And it's one area of the cemetery I don't really film too much at because it's just, I just don't, because I concentrate on other parts of Riverside. But this one, um, it had weird. Matter of fact, another part of the cemetery just right near it, my camera cut off. So there was a lot of things going on there that were very, very weird and hard to explain that I don't normally have happen. And then today we were doing some investigation. Marnie was working with me on this one, and my SB7 just shut completely off. I don't really know why that was the case, but battery is full. You can see 3 out of 4 bars were still on there, so it was still pretty full charge. And so why that shut off on me, I don't know. But I did get something today that I've not gotten through the SB7 in a long time, and that was a first and a last name came through. I believe his name was Hubert Moore, and I never could find him in the cemetery as far as where he could be buried. He could be a poplar. It's in there. Uh, they're not always listed, so that's a possibility. So I'm not 100% sure, but it was pretty cool to get a first and last name, and I did get at least two or three other names too that came through. And one was Street. I heard Street come through. And I said, "Wait a minute! I remember seeing a headstone." So I walk around, and there's that headstone that had last name is Street, and but the first name I got was Morgan, and all this is today, by the way. I got Morgan, and so Marnie and I were kind of looking around, and there was probably about 12 people with the last name of Morgan buried, and two with the first name of Morgan buried in there. Marnie happened to look down off this little incline there and found that there was a headstone with Morgan on it. So that was our cool little adventure today, um, in this week. And then I was at a Civil War cemetery also this week and got something I've never heard before. I asked a question, something to be in the nature of tell me something about you, what you did for a living, or what was your work for a living, or something like that. Anywhere I heard none of your business come, I mean, plain as day, come right through that spirit box. So apparently, it was none of my business what they did. But I've been having spirits be kind of rude here lately too. Um, but I don't know. I mean, you do what you can do, right? And hope that the spirits come through. Oh, and that's not the only time. Last week, I had another incident that I had come through the spirit, I think it's a spirit talker I was using then. It said, let's see, how'd it go? Go away, and then the next one was leave now or something like that. So I did. I respected it. Left that area and went to another part of the cemetery. I sit down to do an investigation and I asked if there's any spirits around me in this area here, if you'd like to speak with me, so on and so forth. The next word I get is quiet. So I'm assuming the spirit that told me to leave followed me over to this other part of the cemetery to tell me to be quiet. So a little rude, but you know, something you deal with when you do paranormal. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right. Oop, there we go. Camera keeps going in and out, so sorry about that. All right. So the other thing I was going to talk about tonight is why we don't do scary videos. Um, and biggest reason why we don't, because we never have. In the 6 years we've done paranormal investigations, we have never done anything that's considered paranormal entertainment. You know, we take everything seriously. Everything we do is very serious. Um, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we've had we get shared by people and people want to share us. I do. Was that an orb? I could have sworn I saw something go like right this way through that camera. Okay. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that might have been an orb. Um, Kind of transparent too. That's odd. All right. So get back to what I was saying though. Excuse me. And people share, and I do appreciate everybody sharing this out and everything. And I guess it was something to the effect of there's some people do reaction videos to uh, haunted videos that consider scary stuff. Um, and I think we were asked about something. Have y'all done a CRX something like that? And the comment back was, "Is there anything scary they have?" And we don't. We don't have anything scary. We don't have scary entertainment content. The biggest reason I don't do that is because I want to respect the spirits. I want to respect them. I want them to know that I'm there to listen and be attentive to them, and that way, if we build that connection, they'll be willing to want to talk to you later on. So that's one big reason why I don't do like the oh my gosh, oh wow, all that stuff. So because I want to hear as much as I can. The more words that come through spirit boxes or whatever, you really want to listen because you never know when the spirit might give you something else. Um, so if you get like if the name Joe came through, I'm not going to go, oh my God, Joe, oh Lord. I'm not going to do that. I want to, okay, Joe, thank you. Can you tell me more or whatever? Because the more, I think it's kind of disrespectful to spirits when you act a fool, I guess you could say. Um, I think it's more respectful to spirits when you're able to communicate and they know you're there peacefully, and that you're there just to talk to them. So no, we don't. Now I've heard people tell me we have freaky videos because we get names and you walk around, there's a headstone with that name on it and stuff like that. So yeah, it used to really freak me out at first too when we were doing we'll get a name or whatever. Like, dang, there's that name right there's the headstone. I mean, so it was a little freaky at first. I'm used to it now, and it don't really bother me. I'm like really now desperately go searching if I can find a headstone in a cemetery with a name that I get, because I want to have that more of situation to share a conversation with them. Maybe they'll open up more. Maybe they need to tell you something. Sometimes spirits want to get something off their chest so they can move on. So I will say, be respectful if you're doing, if especially if you're new to doing paranormal. Be respectful to the spirits. Don't go in there acting goofy or whatever. They may never want to communicate with you again. Um, so not every word, not every name, not every whatever is a ooh ah oh. You know, just be extremely respectful to the spirits. And I have found in 6 years of doing this, the more you go back to the same spots over and over and over again, the more spirits are more likely to communicate with you and feel at ease to communicate with you. And you will hear more from them. You'll get more through a spirit box. You'll get more through the ghost tool, your whatever you're using, or your K2s or your REM pods. The more they feel like they're uh, at peace with you and you're not there to hurt them or to act a fool, the more the more they'll want to talk to you. So, um, but that's why I don't do scary that way. Scary videos. I just don't have. I mean, why change it up now? I've been doing it 6 years the same way. Why be different? And I mean, if people want to do reaction videos of some of the stuff that we've gotten through spirit boxes and things like that, that's great. That's fine. I don't mind it. We did make the TikTok top 5 in a number 3 spot, so that was really cool. With one of the videos I put up on TikTok. But anyway, excuse me. I said that to let everybody know this is what we do. It's not glamorous. It's not over the top. It's just investigating. Because I want to. Over the last couple of years, we turned the channel into more of a research channel to kind of do research for the spirits that we get and know more about them and how they died, and if we can we get a name or a word or something, we can combine that with if they tell me how they died, we can say, okay, let's go back and look at that bio. Oh yeah, they died of a house fire or a whatever. So you can go back and you can look back and see if you're getting the complete information from that certain spirit. So yeah, please just do it that way, please. Unless you really want to do paranormal entertainment, then please let people know that's what you're doing. Put it in your description. Say, hey, this is paranormal entertainment. We're not really doing paranormal investigation. So put that in your descriptions and about sections so that people know when you're being legitimate and you're not. It's just a courtesy. Because I have seen where some YouTube channels have said this is real paranormal, and you know damn well it's not real paranormal. So there you go. So I don't have much of anything. I'm pretty much done with what I was going to talk about. So if anybody's got anything, comment. If not, we're going to shut it down a little early tonight. Let me. All right. Yep. All righty. So let me see. So next week we're going to talk more about more of these spooky events and things like that have happened. We'll get into more creepy stuff. That one with Elmer was pretty weird. That was a weird video. But anyway. All right, guys. So I want to hop off here. That's all I got tonight. I just wanted to talk about that real quick and about the why we don't do scary videos and have our little story of the week. So until next week, guys. Love you. See you soon. Bye.